Hey, good morning and happy Saturday to everybody. Hope you all are having a great start to your day. Just wanted to give you all a quick update on Kylie. So, a couple of things. We have a really big surgery coming up on February 9th, a week from this coming Wednesday. And there's a lot going on, but the doctors feel very confident in this procedure. I think I've talked about it before. If not, it's called a mascole, and simply put, her bone is dying inside on that femur, and what they're going to do is they're going to trim out all the dead bone until they get to a spot where the bone starts bleeding. They'll know then that they've got to life in the bone. This mascole is basically a covering that has antibiotic properties in it, and the great thing is that this infection that has really halted her progress will help eradicate. At least that's the goal, is to help eradicate that infection. In addition to that, this compound helps promote bone growth, and what it does, it creates just kind of a sheath around the ends of the non-union of that femur. So they'll go in, obviously do this surgery. In the process of doing this, they will remove the rod. That's 3 times now. So they're going to remove that rod. They will come back in that same surgery on February 9th and put a plate to bridge that non-union. By no means does that make her leg weight-bearing, but it does secure the bone and hold it, in place. She will not be able to walk or, put any kind of weight on that or touch down with that leg for the next 6 to 8 weeks. The next big part is a second surgery. So it's a 2-stage surgery. They'll come back 6 to 8 weeks later. They will ream out her other femur. So the most ideal way for this procedure is to take bone from a large amount of bone from the other femur. They will take that and obviously fill in the space. It'll be pretty significant from what they were saying, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. And then they'll reinsert a new rod for her leg and close her up. I think that's the biggest part of that is reinserting that rod. Yeah. So removing the plate, adding the rod, and then closing her back up, and it'll be another, 4 to 6 weeks of healing, and hopefully, by all account purposes, she'll be, putting weight on that leg by late March, early April. So there's been a lot of things happen, a lot of blessings. One of which, Kylie turned 16, as you know, in June of last year, and she finally was able to get out and get her license, so a milestone. Had a wonderful conversation with her last night, just her sharing this newfound freedom, and she said it's kind of humbling, and she said, I find myself gathering my thoughts, especially when it's just her in the car, and she just showing her faith and her testimony, and there's a lot up there in that head that she gives us little bits and pieces of what her faith journey looks like, but she said, when this is over, when I'm walking again, she said, I will have a complete story. And it's pretty special to hear that. And she pretty much said that this is her cross. She said, I can't imagine, but I can somewhat relate of what Christ went through when he hung on the cross for me. And I've hung on the cross through this situation for the future of my life. And I know what my purpose is. It's pretty amazing to hear those words out of a 16-year-old. So we're very proud of her. She has her lows, but most of the time she's on, her silly cycle and is very resilient. One thing that Mama shared, and I feel compelled to tell you this, is Kylie was leaving, exiting the house, and Ansel was in the sitting room reading, and she looked out the window and she watched Kylie come down the driveway to the end of the driveway in her walker, go out to the street, load her walker, hop on one leg to get in her car, and of course you can imagine the emotions that overwhelmed Angela. That's hard to see, but it's also a blessing. So we're choosing to find the glory in where Kylie's at. Again, as we always say, we're so thankful for your fervent prayers. We couldn't have got through this without you. So we just ask for those continued prayers, especially the doctors described this surgery as being as big as when the accident happened. So it's a big one, but we know that God's got it. He's much bigger. And we just ask for your continued prayers, love, and support. As always, reach out to us if we can pray for you. We love you guys. Thank you all so much. Have a blessed weekend. Hug and kiss that family.
We love you.
And we thank you all so much. Bye-bye.